Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Simplify Work. This is Priyom. I'm the founder and CEO of Asanify. Today, I'm privileged and honored to have Rahul Agarwal with us, who's the founder and CEO of Ideal Insurance. Ideal Insurance in the last 10 12 years has risen to become one of the most prominent insurance brokerage houses, along with other diversified lines of businesses that Rahul will talk about. I know him personally. He's from Kolkata. We've known each other for a while. He's also my alumni from my alma mater, ISB. So over to you, Rahul. How are you doing? Can you give us a little bit of introduction about yourself before we start?
Hello everyone. Glad to be here. Thanks, Priyam, for inviting me on this wonderful platform. I'm Rahul Agarwal, and I'm the founder and CEO of Ideal Insurance Broker, and I'm based out of Calcutta. And I also recently authored a book called The Ideal Entrepreneur, which basically tells about my professional journey, the learnings and mistakes of my life. Basically, all the learnings and mistakes I've done while building Ideal Insurance. So, and I'm
Right,
happy to be here and share my thoughts.
right. Wonderful. So Rahul, I mean, most of the audience are either entrepreneurs or investors who are investing in entrepreneurs. So what is always fascinating and interesting is what made you start up. So I would love to know that initial story. What, because I remember, I think you are one of the youngest or earliest CFAs in India, if I remember correctly. So from that to insurance, how did this journey come about?
So insurance happened by chance, Priyam. I was in college
Uh-huh.
and I wanted to go abroad for my higher studies. So I thought, why not take up a job and get some work experience? And
Right.
coincidentally, 2001, I was in third year of college, and the insurance industry had privatized, and a couple of American companies came to India. Since I wanted to go to America for my higher studies, I thought, let me
Hmm.
try a job with them. So I landed up going to Max New York Life, and
Uh,
they didn't offer me a job, but they offered me a sales training, and they said I can become an agent. They
hmm.
were offering a free training and 8,000 rupees just for completing the training. So I thought
Hmm.
it was a great deal. Became an agent, and fortunately I did very well. I became something called an MDRT. Right, it's a
Hmm.
$1 million round table. Basically, if you do a certain target in a year, you become
Okay.
a part of that international club. I did that
Oh,
target
wow.
in 3 months. And as luck
Wow.
would have it, the company sent me to America to represent
Uh,
Max New York Life in New York Life's annual sales conference.
wow.
There, I actually got to know how big the insurance industry is. I was actually
Hmm.
one of the, not one, I was the youngest agent for New York Life across the world. Right, there were
Wow.
about 3,000 agents, and I was the youngest of them. So I got a lot of popularity, and it was a
Wow.
great time. So that was my tryst, how I tryst with the insurance started. But then I came back,
Hmm.
I did my MBA from SPGN, and I wanted to start something on my own.
Hmm.
So I thought insurance was a great industry from a future perspective. It has just started in India,
Hmm.
and I
Okay.
could see that there's a humongous potential in insurance.
Hmm.
And yeah, so there it was. That's how Ideal Insurance was born,
Wow.
completely
So,
bootstrapped.
what was the secret to your success? Because I mean, as you said, you are the youngest, literally. So, like, how did you achieve so much so fast? I mean, before you started up, even in your first role, how did you get to be part of that $1 million club?
So
Anything that worked for you? Yeah.
I think I'm natural in sales. That's what I can
Uh,
definitely say. Of course,
mhm.
the training was wonderful, but I
Hmm.
definitely realized that I have a flair for sales, and I'm good at convincing people.
Mhm.
Okay, so yes, that was a good realization.
Right. So, I mean, being an entrepreneur is, in a way also about doing sales because you have to sell, your concept to your early customers. You have to sell your concept to, say, even investors, etc. I believe you have not raised funding, at least in the early journey, right? Or, I mean, how did you think
No,
about getting
no,
external funding?
it was a completely bootstrap business, right? And
Hmm.
that's why it was very slow to begin with, right?
Okay.
So as we kept on growing, we kept on investing the money that we are making. It's only
Hmm.
2018 that we first raised a very small funding, and now currently we are raising another round of funding. But
Oh,
yes, we have
wonderful.
been a bootstrap business like conventional businesses.
Right. So, I mean, if you had to do it all over again, is that how you would do it again?
Definitely not. I mean, if you start
Uh,
with some good funds, your
hmm.
rate of growth can be much faster. For example, I didn't have money to hire employees. Okay, so I had to do everything on my
Right.
own. But if I have money to hire good people right from day one, of course,
Right.
the pace of growth can be much higher. So there's no
Right, right.
thought about if you, I mean, capital is always for speeding your growth.
Hmm. Got it.
So yeah, it
Got it.
would have been helpful,
Got it. So
but
how was
no
the sure?
complaints.
Got it. Yeah, please go ahead.
No, I'm saying, but no complaints. Not everyone has, people are in worse situation than me, and they have
Right.
built up bigger businesses than me. So
Sure.
I shouldn't complain about that. I'm just saying, from a
Right.
perspective, that yes, having capital is always
Hmm.
more helpful.
Right, right, of course. And so, I mean, before obviously you had any capital and you just started out, as you said, you're very young also. So, how, and insurance is also, I believe, a trust business, right? You have to trust the other person to sell what is best
Yes,
for you. And,
yes.
given that you were so young, like how did the initial conversation go when you approached your first few clients? So, who are they? How did you get hold of them? How did you convince them? If you can just share some nuggets.
So initial customers were, of course, people we knew, friends, family, people in the network,
Okay.
right? It was, of course, difficult to begin with because people wouldn't,
Mm-hmm.
as you correctly said, insurance is a business of trust. So people wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
entirely trust me, a 23-year-old starting a company.
Right.
But with time, you build that, and of course, but yes, as I already said, that I had a good flair for sales.
Mm-hmm.
So we
So
had a pretty
what
decent
does it
start.
mean? Like if some entrepreneurs think of starting off, not all of us are naturally gifted, but what does it mean? Have you ever thought yourself that what specifically about you made others trust you, made others get convinced by what you're trying to sell?
So one thing was, I don't know, different or not, but people do say that my conviction and my belief system is very strong, right?
Got it.
So which reflects when you speak to people, right? I
Mm.
believed in what I was doing, and I truly believe that insurance is a very important product for anyone, especially in India, because we are a middle
Hmm.
class society, and for us,
Sure.
insurance is a huge backup. Okay,
Mm.
and I've seen too many people, too many families, too many businesses go bust because of lack of insurance. So I truly
Right.
believe in what I'm doing. So that of
Hmm.
course brings a lot of confidence and creates trust when I'm speaking to people because they know I'm not
Got it.
bullshitting with them, right? They know
Got it.
I mean when I'm saying something, and of course my education background also helps, right? I've been a CFA and an MBA from a good
Hmm.
elite school
Hmm.
and college from St. Xavier's. So that definitely adds
Wonderful.
to my credibility that I know what I'm talking
Right.
about.
Right, right. So you're saying initial customers, they had the trust because they knew you personally, and then obviously there's word of mouth, and from there you get references and so on. You build that.
Yes,
But
yes,
I think the other way, other important aspect for anyone listening is you have to believe, obviously, what you're selling, and secondly, have very deep expertise in and product, know-how
yes.
in whatever you are trying to sell to the other
Yes,
person.
so you use the right product expertise and know-how is also very important. So I did study
Right.
a lot when I went to consumers. In fact, I would. There was actually on the other hand, quite a few people used to ask me, "Ki Rahul, what happened? You didn't get a job after MBA that you are selling insurance." They thought I was overqualified for selling insurance, but people
Uh-huh.
don't understand how big the insurance business can be in India. Right?
Wow. Absolutely fantastic. So you mentioned that you chose the insurance field because that is something that you had exposure to, luckily in whatever twist of fate. But within insurance, there are so many products, right? I mean,
Yes.
a for to start with, is it a who is the target audience? Is it a individual consumer, retail, or is it corporate? So how did you decide, which specific segment you wanted to go after?
So honestly, I didn't decide. We were just going after every person we could
Sure.
connect to, be it individuals or businesses.
Hmm.
It's only with time we created a strong expertise in for
Right.
businesses and HNIs,
Hmm.
and now we are a business-focused a broking company. Our
Hmm.
target customers are medium and large-size businesses,
Okay.
and we have created a quite a niche in that, and we are one of the you can say the largest players in India in that.
Wonderful, wonderful. And the focus on business, was it basis the initial, like how long did it take you to eventually finalize that focus that you will target only the medium to large size businesses?
It took us quite a while, right? Actually, I would say almost after 10 to 12 years, right? Like any business, you keep on growing. We kept on growing, adding
Hmm.
branches one at a time.
Okay.
And then one fine day, we realized that we need to have a clear-cut strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because now we had a team, we had a profitable business, we had created a good brand. So then we sat down in creating a solid strategy for ourselves. We did a lot of homework, and then finally we zeroed down that SME and MSME is somewhere where we are very strong, and that also has a great potential in India. So we finally decided to become a focus player in that segment.